Hey, man, what do we got?
This is Madonna's personal daily planner and phone book from 1988, filled with unbelievable phone numbers, dates, all completely handwritten by Madonna.
So where'd you get it?
When I was 12 years old, I snuck into her hotel room and I stole it.
Really?
I'm joking. I came to the pawn shop today to sell Madonna's personal daily planner and phone book from 1988. This is something I purchased at a very reputable auction house. And this item is a great Madonna artifact, but I think the time has come for me to pass this on to another diehard Madonna collector.
This is really something I've never seen before.
She's got music video dates and personal people's birthdays, Cher's phone numbers in there, Jane Fonda, Warren Beatty, Dennis Hopper's phone number, Bruce Willis, Pee Wee Herman, the list goes on and on.
Did she sign it anywhere, or?
Her name is actually right here in the front of the book with her phone numbers that she had at the time, and you could see this is in her handwriting where it says Madonna. She's got music quotes, she's got little hearts around Sean Penn's name.
She was married to Sean Penn at some point, wasn't she?
She was. So it wouldn't surprise me if the two of them get back together again. I think Sean Penn has always been Madonna's true love.
I don't know that much about her, but Madonna has been a huge star for decades, and a lot of people consider her the queen of pop. And she does have some mega fans out there that would pay good money for this.
So how much are you looking to get for it?
I'm asking $25,000 for the book.
Really?
Really.
When it comes to something like this, I really don't even know where to start. I'm gonna give a buddy a call and have him come down and tell me if this is her handwriting, because I really don't even know what to say about this right now.
I would love to see what he has to say.
I'll be back.
I don't feel that it requires an expert's evaluation. I know how legitimate and how great this item is. This was something I had to have. I love Madonna. I think she's amazing. Vogue, Vogue, Vogue.
Got a weird one for you.
Oh, great.
Madonna's day planner.
Ah, cool. Obviously, Madonna's kind of a big deal. She's really difficult to get near, tough autograph. She doesn't like signing. She doesn't like people just being around her. Because of that, her value is insane. She's like one of the most valuable modern era celebrities that's still alive.
All right.
What are your concerns?
Dude, I don't even know if it's hers. It just looks like a bunch of gibberish from a high school girl. I really don't even know what it is.
This will be challenging here. The thing I have to do is, because we're not really basing it on a signature, I've got to check her handwriting. Obviously, I have to compare her writing compared to the stuff I have. She had a way of writing, a lot of lowercase letters, cursive, some printing, some block letters. I'm looking for transition points on her S, and you could see it where she wrote shirt here and Sean. It's literally the same thing.
S.
And she takes her S here and she brings it straight up. That's a positive sign. Just kind of looking for matches, and I'm looking at the 4 and looking all lowercase here and looking literally at the same
Exact
letter
4.
formation. Yeah. Her R's, interesting, her transitions here. Again, I see the same type of R here. You know, based on everything, though, I'm seeing here, Corey, it's from her, and it's pretty cool if you want to know the truth. I think it's a really neat piece of memorabilia to have.
Is it actually worth any money, though?
Yeah, she's one of the biggest stars of all time.
What's it worth?
You know, what I think is interesting about this piece is that it hasn't really been circulated in a long time, and it's kind of a personal piece of hers. So it's got a little more than like a signed photograph or an album. So conservatively, I'd say $10,000 to $12,000 range, right in that ballpark.
I disagree.
Okay, well, that's fine.
I definitely think it's worth a lot more. I've been offered a lot more than that, but, you know, we all have an opinion.
Of course.
I appreciate you coming down.
Yep, good to see you. Yep, good
Appreciate
luck.
it.
Yep.
Thank you, man.
Yep, you bet.
I think it's a great buy for the shop. Finding a personal effect of hers like a date planner, or talking about a rare item. Anything Madonna has significant value to it, and especially something that comes right from her.
You're asking 25. Heard my guy say 10 to 12. I'd give you like $4 grand for it.
It's insulting, to be honest with you. It's worth a lot more than that. I'd go down to 20.
I'd go to 5. We're not gonna make a deal, are we?
Listen, we all make mistakes in life.
Madonna's day planner isn't gonna be one of mine, I promise.
Well, we'll see what happens. I appreciate your help.
Take care, man.
Thanks, man. This was worth clearly over $20,000. It is an iconic piece of rock and roll music memorabilia, and his offer was insulting, but that's okay. We all make mistakes.
Hey, what do we got here?
I got a couple of high-grade U.S. large currency notes that I've been collecting. This is a 1918 series Federal Reserve note, and this is a $500 1882 gold note.
Whoa, these are a little bit more than just high grade, especially this one right here, the $500 gold certificate. There's not a lot of these left in the world. This was an incredible amount of money at the time. I mean, this is a year or two salary for most people. It would be very difficult to get change.
The notes that I've got are considered to be pretty rare, just like artwork. But at some point, you just want to move on or find something else to do. I'm really looking for $50,000 for the pair of notes. $40,000 is the least I'm really willing to sell them for.
Yeah, these are incredible.
Thank you.
There's probably less than 100 of each of them in the world. I mean, they were shredded, just like, you know, when we have a bad $1 bill today, you know, it eventually ends up back at the Federal Reserve, and they shred the old ones and print new ones.
Right.
This was 1882. There was a gold shortage at the Treasury right around that time. They issued a lot of paper bills like this, especially when this one was made. I mean, we still lived in a world where people really didn't want paper money because the paper money was just a receipt for gold.
Right.
But it had advantages. First off, it's a lot less bulky than carrying around gold coins. And the other advantage of this was if you were traveling, say, in a stagecoach somewhere and you were robbed, you now had a traceable document instead of some gold coins in your pocket, which were not traceable at all.
Makes good sense.
So how much you want for these?
I'd like to get $33,000 for this note, and I'd like to get $17,000 for this note, so I'd like to get even $50,000 for them.
Okay. I want one of my friends to come down here and look at it. He deals in this stuff almost exclusively.
Sure.
They look real to me, but there's a lot of treatments people do on these things to make them look better.
Understood.
Okay. So hang on a few minutes and I'll get him down here.
Okay.
All right, be right back.
I very much welcome an expert. My only concern is the expert a prejudiced expert or is he an unbiased expert? So it's something I have to take in consideration.
What do we have here today?
You know, two $500 bills that he wants a lot of money for. And the big thing is have they been processed and what are they worth?
Sure. May I take them out of the holder?
Sure.
These are incredible items. They're not common by no means. I'll tell you right now, my favorite one out of both of these is this 1918 500 features Chief Justice John Marshall, who essentially helped create the Supreme Court to be co-equal to our government. Pretty historical individual. Gold certificates were issued in a time where they were backed by gold. Because weight of gold was quite heavy, the government issued paper currency to alleviate some of the stress of carrying it, and it also allowed the government to keep some of their gold medals in the banks and have public debt carry the certificates instead.
All right, well, tell me about these things.
Sure. This 1918 500 Federal Reserve note, this note looks problem-free, meaning has no tears, rust, inks. It's definitely has never been pressed. It's got just light circulation. It's a really, really solid example, and it would fall in the very fine 30 range. This is a genuine, high-valued example.
Can you and I disagree without being disagreeable?
Sure.
I do think it grades higher than that between us.
I get that quite often. Now, the 1882 500 gold certificate, this one concerns me. This has seen some restoration work quite well. The corners look like they've been rebuilt. During that time, it was probably washed lightly, not too harsh, and would probably grade this in the very fine 20 to 25 range, but it has been restored.
And that affects value.
It's absolutely up to about 30 to 40%.
Okay, so what do you think they'll go for?
Individually, I think in auction, I would expect the 1918 $500 Federal Reserve note to bring $20,000 to $30,000, and the 1882 $500 gold certificate, because of the grade and the restoration work, in auction, I think one could expect to pay around $20,000.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Good luck.
Thank you for your help.
If Rick can negotiate a deal for these two notes in that price range, I think it's a very good buy considering the scarcity of them.
So what's the best price you'll take for them?
Well, I'd like to get $50,000 for the two of them.
Well, you seem like a reasonable businessman. You know, I'm not going to pay $50,000 for something I might get 50 out of.
All right.
Hey, what can you do?
I bet 40.
There's no money at 40.
37?
No, I'll go 35. I mean, there's auction fees, I mean, in the end, it makes no sense for me to give you a dime more than that.
All right, you got a deal.
Oh, sweet, man. Let's go up front, and I'll write you up. These are cool.
The offer of $35,000 is a little bit on the low side, but it's a fair offer. And right now, I'm just going to leave it in the bank account.
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad. How you doing?
What do you have here?
Supposedly a 300-year-old cross.
Okay. It's Baroque style, which means that's gaudy jewelry time.
Can't pull it off these days. This cross is 15-karat gold, natural table-cut rose diamonds, and I just want to sell it. It's been in my safe for 2 years. It's just kind of collecting dust, and I'm shooting for $8,000, but the least I'll take is probably $5,500.
Yeah, I'm always interested in something like this. The beautiful thing about gold and diamonds and jewelry is it always sells. Baroque basically means break in symmetry or something like that.
Okay.
Okay. And that's basically how they made jewelry back then. Baroque was a style of art and architecture known for being big, bold, and full of color. Authentic jewelry from that time period can sell for millions. So if this cross is truly over 300 years old, it's worth a lot of money. The way you made jewelry back then was very, very basic. These are diamonds right here, but they don't look sparkly because diamonds are really hard to cut and polish.
Right.
And up until right around 150 years ago, first they get a piece of wood, they put shellac on the end of it, so it would hold onto the diamond, and they'd get a copper plate,
Okay.
and they'd put water and some diamond dust on there, and just start going back and forth like that.
Wow.
The diamond dust would polish it, so it's a lot cruder. What were you looking to get out of it?
They go all the way up to 25,000 I've seen, and I figured leaving enough meat on the bones for you, I'd say 8,000.
One of the hard things with this stuff, though, is dating it. There's a lot of little things. You see all these serrations on the back?
Yeah.
Those are all done by hand. You can see all the imperfections and the different depths and everything like that. You can see that it was engraved. Now, the problem we have with this is we have no European hallmarks, and this would have been made in Europe.
Right.
And this is a different color gold than this color. That's soldered on there.
Okay.
Which is,
Not a good sign.
well, you didn't have a blowtorch. Which tells me someone took some old rose-cut diamonds and made this cross. This is not 300 years old.
Really?
Yeah,
That's unfortunate. Not what I was in.
No,
expecting.
you got like 200 bucks worth of gold there.
Wow.
And I really don't even want the diamonds.
I'd probably just have to hang on to it for that.
All right, have a good one, man.
Appreciate your time. Thank you very much. He thinks it's a newer cross. I disagree. Since we couldn't make a deal, I'm gonna go get a second opinion.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, hi.
So what in the world do we got here?
Well, we have some cold-painted bronzes made by Franz Bergmann. They were made around the 19th century.
They almost, for lack of a better term, remind me of mangers.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why.
I'm at the pawn shop today to sell my cold-painted bronzes. They're interesting because they tell a story. If you look at each one, they're all unique. I'm ready to sell because I'm getting up in age and my children don't want them. Nobody wants their parents' things anymore. And so I thought if somebody else enjoyed them as much as I do, I'll let them go.
They're definitely interesting. It's not very often that something comes in that I've never, ever seen before.
I know most people haven't. The guy, his name was Franz Bergmann. He started doing those, and some of these would be in the window of rug dealers, and they would identify that they sold Oriental rugs.
Okay, so I'm assuming they're lamps, though, right?
Three of them are lamps, and two are not. And they're cold painted. It's a process that's kind of a lost art now.
I mean, cold painting was a technique that was really popular during the Art Deco periods, and I know it had to do with fire, so I don't know how they got the name cold painting.
Yeah, I really don't know either, and they're all referred to as cold painted bronzes, even if it's a Bergmann or some other artist.
Okay. They all look like they're in really good condition. What are you looking to get for these?
You have a chair you can sit down on? I would like $30,000 for 6.
Okay, So where'd you come up with that number?
Well, if you do any research on Bergman, some of them are 25,000, some are 18,000 each, so they're highly collectible.
Okay, you know, I hate to keep repeating myself here, but once again, I know absolutely nothing about these. I'm gonna have to have a buddy of mine come down and take a look at these because...
It's out of your league.
I'm sorry, did you say it was weak?
Is it out of your league right now?
Okay. It is a little out of my league. It's just not something I've seen. Let me have my art guy, Chad, come down and take a look at it. Why don't you do me a favor and hang out, and I'll be back as soon as I can, okay?
Okay, great. I have no concerns about an expert coming in. I welcome the opportunity to see what they think.
So we have some Franz Bergman cold-painted bronze lamps.
Okay. So Franz Bergman, he was known primarily for the cold paint process. Most bronzes are hot patinaed. You get them really hot, you add chemicals, that actually bonds in with the bronze. Whereas the cold paint, it kind of sits on top, but it's very, very vibrant. But there's a few things you have to look at if you're looking for one, because there is a lot of knockoffs. I mean, thousands and thousands. The ones that are fake are often not bronze. When I look at one of these artworks, I feel the weight to see if they are bronze. And then I look for the maker's mark. You know, he wrote his name backwards, Nagreb, or he put a B in a vase. Let me put on my glasses. So this one, when we look at it, we can see that it's painted and it's got a white metal, so that's tin, maybe a tin nickel. I don't know, it's one of the two. This one we can immediately discount. This one's not right. So now I'm gonna look at this one. This one, when I pick it up, it's bronze. This is what we want, but it's got a hot patina, so I'd say that one's not right.
See, this one has a maker's mark, but I can't tell what it is.
So that is a maker's mark. It's an artist's name, but it's not the one we're looking for.
Okay.
So none of these are right.
So, Chad, she's looking for 30,000 bucks. What do you think they're worth altogether?
If they were all real, they'd be worth around 30,000 bucks, but they're not. I would say, I mean, you could give her $1,000, $1,100. You're not gonna make a ton of money. They're all antique, but they're not by the artist.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming down.
I appreciate it. Sorry I couldn't give you better news.
Oh, hey, that's fine.
You guys have a good day.
Okay, so, we're obviously gonna get nowhere near 30,000.
We're not getting there, no.
Is there any chance of us making a deal?
We couldn't make a deal with anywhere near that, no.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, there's always next time, and I really appreciate you coming down,
Good.
okay?
Thank you. Unfortunately, I disagree with the expert. He really did a low ball, which is fine. That's how we do it. So I'd low ball somebody too. But since I didn't sell them, I'm going to display them in a showcase and light them up. They've been hiding for too long.
What do you have here?
Harley Davidson scooter.
Not typically what you think of when you hear the word Harley Davidson. Can I sit on it?
You bet.
I want to see how badass the Harley scooter makes me feel. I definitely don't feel like a badass.
I have a 1962 Harley Davidson topper that I'm hoping to sell today. Being that I had never seen this, I really wanted it for my collection. I've got a few Harleys, and my wife says one of them has to go. I'm hoping to sell the topper today for $8,000.
Well, this is definitely pretty cool. This was Harley's attempt at the Vespa, basically. Vespas were so big in Italy. Harley decided, hey, let's make a scooter. And they really wanted to capitalize on that and be the first ones out here making an American-made scooter. But they're having trouble getting people to think Harley Davidson as, you know, a scooter company. And the Harley topper kind of fell out of business. It only lasted 5 years. I've never actually seen one in person before. Just taking a look at it, it definitely needs some metal work up here in the front, but for the most part, the condition is fair. You know, I wouldn't want to call it good, but I definitely wouldn't call it bad. How much are you looking to get?
$8,000.
Honestly, that's going to be a lot more than I want to pay for it.
Nothing says Harley Davidson like a scooter.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. I think a loud engine says Harley Davidson. This is not an easy sell. Most Harley collectors wouldn't be caught dead on a scooter, let alone even owning one. I mean, I'd be topping out at about $2,000.
Why don't we do 4,000 then?
Obviously, there's someone at home that doesn't want this in the garage anymore. If it was in better condition, you know, I could give you a little more, but realistically, I can buy it for $2,000.
2250.
2,000.
2250.
2,000. 21. That's my max.
21.
All right, it's a deal. Let's go do the paperwork.
So I was hoping to get $8,000 for it, but I got $2,100, and I'm okay with that, and my wife is very okay with that.
Hey, how's it going? So what do we got?
I've got Atari Raiders of the Lost Ark and Frogger for Atari 2600.
Game on. Ready to get your butt kicked?
And an Atari game?
Any game.
I'm here at the Punch Up today to sell 2 vintage Atari video games, Frogger and Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark. The Frogger game is brand new, and it's even better than you might find on the shelves back in 1982. The Raiders of the Lost Ark is very nice condition and very hard to find. I'm looking to sell Frogger today for $1,200 and Raiders of the Lost Ark for $400.
They are really cool. Atari first came out with Pong, I think in 1972, and that really caught on. Then they came out with the Atari 2600, which was more than just Pong. You could play multiple games, different cartridges to play.
That's right.
And they really didn't do as well as Atari thought they were going to. It was $199, which in today's money, that's the equivalent of $900. You know, and then each one of these things was like another $50.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. So parents had a hard time wrapping their head around spending $900 for a toy.
Yeah.
For the first few years, they had about 400,000 of them that they weren't able to sell that year. And then so on and so forth, they started picking up. And then next thing you know, they're selling 1 million Atari units a year or something like that. I believe they pretty much kind of stopped making them around 1983, the 2600s.
Sounds about right.
And that's the year I was born. So
Okay.
like, I never had a really chance to play it.
Yeah, but this is still worth playing today. I guarantee you won't be disappointed.
Do you mind if I take a look at them?
Absolutely.
All right, yeah, I mean...
Did you ever play Frogger?
I've never played it on Atari. My dad was just way too cheap to buy any kind of video games or anything like that.
Yeah, I understand that.
Wow, and look at those graphics. So, I mean, yeah, these were pretty cool back then. I mean, they've redone these games just about on every system, too. I mean,
Yep, Nintendo Wii, yeah, all of them.
So what are you looking to do with them?
I'm looking to sell them.
Any idea what you're looking to get?
Yeah, so for this one, probably the nicest Frogger I've ever seen. I'm looking for $1,200 for that. And the Raiders of the Lost Ark, I'm looking for $400 on that one.
Okay, that is not what I was expecting to hear from you. I know people are starting to grade vintage video games.
Yes.
Which is kind of new to me. It's not something I have experience in. Do we have somebody that could grade these? Do you know anybody?
Yeah, we got someone that we use. Want me to go give him a call?
Yeah, do me a favor, give them a call. Yeah, hang out, we'll be right back, okay?
Sure.
Great.
I don't know if they need an expert coming in because it's really based on what someone's willing to pay for it. And I think that there's a large following for these games right now.
What do we got here? Some Atari, huh?
Brand new, unopened Atari games.
Yeah, so these are some classic games. Atari 2600 came out in '77, and it was kind of like the classic age of video games. Typically, we know the Nintendo as the golden age, but what came first was the Atari, and they didn't really create the franchises that we know, like Mario and Zelda, but they really were the genesis of video games, essentially.
So this one doesn't have any shrink wrap on it. Is that normal?
Yeah, can I take a look at these?
Yeah. Please.
All right, sure. So this is Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's different variants. So you can see here it says Atari Inc. There's an Atari Corporation version that came out in 1986. So this came out in '82, I believe, and they did not come with shrink wrap. The Frogger, this one did come shrink wrap. It should say on the side here, made in USA, right? So this is the first print. So it's gonna be harder to find this one, still sealed like this in great condition.
So I know people are, collecting these and now they're actually getting graded and stuff.
Absolutely. With the introduction of grading, I mean, obviously, as the prices have risen, certification has eliminated counterfeits, so people know what they're buying. They have more confidence to spend more money on them. So I've taken a look at this, and just looking at it, I mean, this is pristine. It's clearly what we call case fresh. This has never been distributed. It's never been on the shelf. The box would probably be about a 9.8, which is pretty much the nicest you can expect to get this as a grade. This one definitely has a few flaws. I mean, you can see here, just clearly there's a little ridge there. And there's other things here that would probably put this in the 9.0 to 9.2 range. So it's still a really nice shape, but it's not absolutely perfect.
Okay, so what are we looking at value-wise?
So the Raiders of the Lost Ark with this variant and in this condition, I would say roughly about $100. For the Frogger, I would say this one, because it's so nice, about $300. So for the pair, you're looking at about $400. Maybe on a good day, depending on the buyer, it could go for about $500.
All right, well, I appreciate you coming down.
Happy to help out.
Thank you.
Take care.
So you heard what my guy said they're possibly worth.
Sure.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, I think I'm gonna just have to pass, just based on this. You know, there's comic book bubbles out there, there's baseball card bubbles out there, and I feel kind of like this is a video game bubble right now. And while they might be collectible right now, the value could drop at any moment. And I don't want to be the guy holding all the games when the bubble bursts, so I'm gonna wait a little bit longer before I start investing a lot of money into these things.
No problem. I'm happy to take them home.
Well, thank you very much, man.
Thank you. I disagree with what people are willing to pay for it right now. I'm holding on to these. They're only going up in value.